Big changes don't always come from grand gestures. In Tiny Habits, Massive Results, Jaishree Nenwani reveals how small, seemingly insignificant actions can lead to life-changing outcomes. By focusing on tiny, consistent habits, you can make massive improvements in your health, productivity, relationships, and overall well-being. In this audiobook summary by AudiblePages, we'll explore Nenwani's practical strategies for habit formation, how to make positive changes stick, and why starting small is the key to achieving lasting success. You'll learn how to rewire your brain, overcome resistance, and create a habit system that works for you. By the end, you'll be ready to implement tiny habits that deliver massive results in your life. Chapter 1. The Power of Tiny Habits. Nenwani opens the book by explaining the science behind tiny habits. She argues that small, manageable actions are more effective than drastic lifestyle changes because they're easier to sustain. She introduces the idea that tiny habits bypass the brain's resistance to change, making it easier to build momentum. Think about how much easier life would be if you could make meaningful changes without feeling overwhelmed. Nenwani teaches that starting small is the key to unlocking massive success. Choose one tiny habit that aligns with your goals, such as drinking a glass of water first thing in the morning. The key is to make it so easy that it feels almost impossible to skip. Chapter 2. How to Design Your Habits. This chapter covers the habit design process. Nenwani explains how to break down big goals into tiny, actionable steps and pair them with existing routines. She emphasizes the importance of making your habits convenient and rewarding to increase your chances of success. Consider how much more likely you'd be to stick to your habits if they fit seamlessly into your daily life. Nenwani teaches that strategic habit design makes consistency effortless. Identify a current habit you do daily, like brushing your teeth, and use it as a trigger for your new tiny habit. For example, after brushing your teeth, do one push-up. Chapter 3. The Role of Motivation and Willpower. Nenwani explains why motivation and willpower are unreliable for building lasting habits. She argues that relying on willpower leads to burnout and inconsistency. Instead, she suggests focusing on making habits so small that you don't need motivation to start. Think about how much more consistent you'd be if you didn't have to rely on willpower. Nenwani teaches that simplifying habits is the secret to overcoming resistance. Make your habit ridiculously easy to start, like reading one paragraph of a book instead of committing to 30 minutes. Over time, you can build on your success as the habit becomes ingrained. Chapter 4. Creating a Supportive Environment. This chapter emphasizes the importance of environmental design. Nenwani explains that your surroundings can either support or hinder your habits. She provides tips for making your environment habit-friendly, such as removing distractions and keeping cues for positive habits visible. Consider how much more successful you'd be if your environment supported your goals. Nenwani teaches that changing your surroundings can make or break your habit formation journey. Set up visual cues for your habits. If you want to eat healthier, place a bowl of fresh fruit on your kitchen counter. If you want to write more, keep a notebook and pen on your desk. Chapter 5. The Magic of Habit Stacking. Nenwani introduces habit stacking as a powerful technique to build new habits effortlessly. She explains that by linking a new habit to an established one, you create a seamless routine. This strategy leverages the brain's natural tendency to associate behaviors. Think about how easy it would be to build habits if they were part of your existing routines. Nenwani teaches that habit stacking makes new behaviors feel automatic. Use the formula, after I will. For example, after I pour my morning coffee, I will meditate for 1 minute. Chapter 6. Tracking and Celebrating Progress. This chapter explores the importance of tracking your habits and celebrating small wins. Nenwani explains that monitoring your progress keeps you motivated and reinforces the habit loop. She also highlights the psychological benefits of rewarding yourself for sticking to your habits. Consider how much more motivated you'd be if you celebrated every small victory. Nenwani teaches that acknowledgement and celebration boost your confidence and momentum. Use a habit tracker to record your progress. Each time you complete your tiny habit, mark it on your tracker and give yourself a small reward, like a positive affirmation or a pat on the back. Chapter 7. Overcoming habit disruptions, Nenwani addresses the challenges of maintaining habits, such as setbacks and disruptions. She explains that life is unpredictable, and missing a day or two doesn't mean you've failed. The key is to have a plan for getting back on track without feeling discouraged. Think about how resilient you'd be if you knew how to bounce back from setbacks. Nenwani teaches that self-compassion and flexibility are essential for long-term success. If you miss a day, don't dwell on it. Focus on getting back on track the next day. Remember, progress is more important than perfection. Chapter 8. Scaling up your habits. In the final chapter, Nenwani discusses how to scale up your habits once they become automatic. She explains that the beauty of tiny habits is that they grow over time, leading to massive results. Nenwani provides guidance on gradually increasing the difficulty of your habits to keep challenging yourself. Consider how powerful it would be to watch your tiny habits snowball into life-changing routines. Nenwani teaches that consistency and gradual growth are the keys to long-term transformation. Once your tiny habit feels easy, add a small increment. If you've been doing 1 push-up a day, increase it to 2. The goal is to keep making progress without overwhelming yourself. Practical advice and wrap-up. Jaishree Nenwani's Tiny Habits Massive Results shows that small, consistent actions can lead to extraordinary outcomes. By starting tiny, designing supportive environments, and celebrating your progress, you can create habits that stick and transform your life. Remember, it's not about massive effort, it's about massive results from tiny changes. Start today by choosing one tiny habit and committing to it. Whether it's drinking a glass of water, reading 1 paragraph, or doing 1 push-up, every small step brings you closer to your goals.